What's up, ladies and gents, and welcome back to Forza Horizon 5. We are back with another seasonal championship, and today it's a turbocharged one, and well, we are using the cover car for it. Yes. I checked the available cars and tuned the car. Share code in the description as always. I am using the Renault 5 Turbo. You can make an argument for the Lambo LMO02, but in race 1 I do recommend the Renault. Especially races 2 and 3 you can make an argument for the Lambo, because those are a little more pure cross-country where you really race for a lot of water, etc. You just don't have the loss of speed and the fragility in the Lambo. Just waiting for race 1 to start here. So, some very interesting cars apparently here. We will probably see some off-road cars, and we should be able to really smoke them at the start of the race. There's the Lambo, there goes the Range Rover, I believe, there goes the other Lambo. So the Lambo is really like, also the Range Rover. They have a lot of weight, and obviously the cars themselves are pretty good at off-road and the cross-country in general, but like at the start they just have so much weight that you can really make use of it and just accelerate a lot quicker, and hope we can also make use of our light and nimble car by driving tight lines here and getting a good result. Now what you might want to do a lot more than with heavier cars is to try and avoid the debris on the track, because obviously when you hit the garbage and the debris on the track with a car that is this light, then the effect is going to be a lot bigger than it is going to be with, let's say, the LMO02 or a Range Rover, because obviously they have a lot of weight and running over some of the debris isn't going to slow you down that much. So like right here, yeah, we hit it a little bit, but you really want to make sure you don't lose too much speed there. Or you can sometimes obviously use it as kind of a makeshift brake. Really, through these corners you don't need to brake as much as the game maybe suggests that you could and should do, but you obviously already know that if you played it for a while that the racing line that the game gives you isn't always the fastest, and you don't need to always brake as much as the game suggests, so there is that. Race 1 really obviously has not very many areas where you say, okay, you need a heavy car or anything. It's a very basic track that you can easily do with a light car like this one, and you can see by the performance in this race that we are doing pretty well and we are not really struggling with the car that we have chosen. We will probably see that change in races 2 and 3. So really getting a win in race 1 is very important as well, for that matter, because it puts you in a decent position, and well, that is obviously very important as well. You can almost go full throttle and you need to brake a little bit, but maybe initiate a drift so that you can point at least in the right direction. And here you can see I always try to fit my car through the debris so that we don't lose too much speed. Here as well, just 2 taps on the brake and that mostly finishes it. Alright, so that puts us at 20 points. We have a Bronco and a Lambo LMO2 in second and third. I believe they will also be the challengers in races 2 and 3. Like I already mentioned, the light car has its limitations there, much more than it has in this race. But we'll try to make the best of it. We're going to race number 2. And then you will probably see very soon what I mean by that. So hold tight. Race 1 obviously very straightforward, nothing too spectacular about it where I can really make any special remarks or anything. But I already see cars that we can overtake at the start, so that's good. The lighter cars are behind us, the heavier cars in front of us mostly, so we can probably make up some good ground at the start of the race. So we're up into 6th. We really want to try to get on the inside here and brake early, because if you get carried out too far, then that compromises the corner too much, and we really don't want that. We also start very far on the outside there, do a switcheroo maneuver, and that puts us into first. So that's pretty good, right? And we get pushed off a little bit there. That wasn't nice. Back into second, thanks to that. And that was a pretty rough move, but we hold it through, and there you can see the problem of how running into the debris can harm you with a light car, because it costs us a lot of speed running through that. I actually compromised my line a little bit to prevent their overtakes. There you can see as well, the Lambo is making up ground in this area where we have a lot of debris to run through, because that takes a lot of speed out of us. A lot of the other lighter cars as well, which were in second and in third up until that point. And now the Lambo obviously making up some ground. At the same time, we need to try and focus on what makes our car good. Unfortunately, there isn't much here. That Lambo is coming in real good. Let's cut him off. So I was compromising the line a little bit. I was taking a very tight entry, so that the Lambo can't just force his way through, and now accelerating out of it we actually have the advantage, which is good, and we had a jump as well with our light car, now accelerating out of it. We do have the advantage in this area, so that is a win in race number 2, but you could clearly see the disadvantage the light car has with the debris, with the water section as well, where it slows us down a lot more, because we don't have a ride height. And well, luckily the second from race 1 is last in race 2, and we have another Lambo. Now 10 points behind, that puts us in a very comfortable position actually. Because we shouldn't lose 10 points in one race. Hey, a wheel spin. Hey, 5,000. Well, we could have had 2,000. Thanks for that patch. Alright, and then we go to race number 3 somewhere. There it is. It's number 13,000. And an entry in the last race. That's race 3. So yeah, right now it's about not losing the 10 points, which I am fairly confident in. You do want to use the first section of the race. It is pretty important to make use of that. We obviously get past these guys early on, but now you want to use a downhill section and not overshoot the corner. So you really want to brake early enough. If you overshoot that, you just lose all of that progress you made on the downhill section, and well, that's obviously not what you want to do, so well, we can make up ground into this. We drove right into his ass. As enjoyable as that sounds, it obviously wasn't. So, yeah. Where's that? We are in first, however, so all is not lost. And now we will try to extend our lead a little bit, because we will inevitably make mistakes in this track. It is very bumpy, and these bumpy tracks are really not a friend of the light cars. We're reasonably comfortable. No, that's not really comfortable, but we have a reasonable lead, and we have some other light cars behind us, so where we struggle, they will struggle, so let's see. Now obviously, again, we have a 10-point lead, so even when we do mess this up, and oh, this is terrible. I don't really. What a bunch of. I don't really see us losing so much that we lose 10 points, but you never know, right? One big mistake can really offset the entire race when you're last and you're done. Obviously we can always rewind if that happens, but I would rather not. Yeah, we are fairly comfortably ahead. Oh, you know, with these jumps, you can always just have so much go wrong, where your car just does something weird and just the race is lost due to basically no fault of your own, which is annoying. That can happen. But we win, so that's alright. And that finishes this championship. At some point. There we go. So yeah, as always, I have posted the share code in the description by the time you see this, hopefully. And, well, win a Porsche. So, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. I hope you can do this as well. And until next time, farewell.